What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, we're going to be covering an indicator on TradingView that can help you find key levels of support and resistance using volume. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of these great pre-recorded videos or urgent market updates that we upload to the channel. And if you guys are interested in learning technical analysis and how to trade the crypto markets and make money whether the price is going up or down, make sure you check out the rest of the videos on the YouTube channel and also head over to frankiecandles.com. And we do have a deals section where you can get special deals if you sign up for things like Femex or Market Cipher, and you can also sign up for BitLab Academy so you can go from an absolute beginner in crypto to an absolute expert. Now, the indicator we're gonna be going over today is the volume profile visible range, or the VPVR. This is an indicator that analyzes volume over a visible range of price action that you have on the screen, and it can help you find key levels of support and resistance, which could be very important for many reasons. It could help you find really good entry points. It could also mark really good levels to take profits if you're already in a trade. So without further ado, let's jump into the charts. I'm gonna show you how to get this indicator onto your charts, how to read it, and how you can use it to get good entries and find good levels to take your profit. Let's get into it. So here we are on the Ethereum 2-hour chart. And it is worth noting that the VPVR is actually only available, I believe, on the paid version of TradingView. I think it is available for their lowest end subscription plan, which I believe is about $12.95 a month. In my opinion, it's well worth it to get these indicators. It's a small fee to pay monthly. It also comes with a lot of other features such as custom time intervals, which I would argue is one of the most important things, as well as a bunch of other useful features. But with that out of the way, what we're gonna wanna do is come on up to our indicator button, go ahead and click on that. You're going to wanna type in volume profile, right? And then there are a bunch of different volume profile indicators. You have your fixed range. If you guys have not seen our fixed range volume profile video, I will link it in a card above. Definitely go check that out. It's a similar indicator, but analyzes volume in a slightly different way, but definitely a valuable video to watch. So definitely go check that out. But what we're going to be focusing on today is this one down here, the VPVR, or volume profile visible range. So we're going to go ahead. You can star it if you want to add it to your favorites. I'll go ahead and do that because I do use it often. You're going to want to go ahead and click it one time and come back to your chart, and you will see these bars pop up on the right side of your screen. Now, this is the VPVR. Before I show you guys how to use this indicator, I'm going to go ahead and change a few settings. So you can either double click on these bars, or you can click once and come over here to your VPVR little box here and click the settings button, right? And then what we're gonna do is we're going to change the rows from 24 to 200. Now, this is going to add more bars to our indicator here, which gives you just a little more detail into seeing the volume. I like it that way. You could use it however you want. I'm just gonna show you guys how I use it. So we're gonna switch the row size to 200, and then we're gonna come here to the value area volume, and we're going to change that to 100. And when you hit OK, you'll see we have many more bars, and then changing the value areas to 100 will light up all the bars. And this is basically what you're working with. And let me just go ahead and remove our drawings so we don't get confused here. Let me go ahead and take that moving average off. So this is what you're going to see. You're going to have these bars, and basically what these bars indicate is volume. Now, you'll see you have blue and yellow volume. This indicates buying and selling volume. Now, we're not really going to pay attention to that. We're just interested in volume in general, right? Buying and selling volume. So you could change it to the colors to, you know, if you wanted it to be red and green, red for selling, green for buying pressure. But we're just really focused on the volume itself. Now, with the volume profile visible range, you'll notice it's visible range is in the name. And what that means is it's going to analyze the volume for the price action that is showing on your chart. So you'll notice if I zoom out and bring more price action into the chart like this, you'll see over here your indicator changes, right? And if you zoom in, it changes again. Now it's analyzing this price action here and all of this volume. And then when you zoom out and add more data to the chart, it reanalyzes it, including all of this price action here, and it shows you the volume for all of this. And you zoom out more, it will change again. Now we're analyzing all of this information as well. So you see it just changed right there. And you'll notice we have a red line here that's been jumping around. This is just the area where the most volume was traded, very similar to our fixed range volume profile. So that's just what this red line means. It's where the most volume was traded, right? So this is going to be a very strong area of resistance and support. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how this can help you find good areas of support and resistance. And basically, you just want to read this, when you see spikes in volume here, it shows that there was volume traded here. So if we just go ahead and add some horizontal lines on these high volume areas, you're going to notice something. I'm just going to go ahead and put it on the highest areas of volume, right? I'm not going to put it here because we already have the automatic line that shows up there. But we're just going to put some lines here, right? We're going to come down here. You'll see volume sticking out here. So we'll just add a horizontal line there. And then you got another high volume area right here. We'll add a line right there. And if you come to price action, you can see. So you have this area, we drew a line, it acted as resistance. And you come down to the next level where we had a spike in volume, and you'll see that area acted as support. And then, we come down, you have your area where the most volume was traded, and we got resistance here, and then it acted as support. And then you're getting resistance, resistance, support, resistance, resistance. So this is a very strong level. And then, so on and so forth. This spike in volume here, you got resistance, 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 support, support. And you broke through here, but came back up, support, support, and somewhat support and resistance right here. Lots of interaction on this line. You got resisted again right here. Same thing with this one, support, 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 resistance. So you can see very strongly right here as well, you got support. And then it's kind of danced around in this area, rejected a couple times here. But this is basically how the indicator works. And, you don't have to draw lines on every single spike. What you could do is just find the really strong areas and mark those out. Something else you can use this indicator for, it's very good to have this up because you can also see where there is a lack of volume. So you can see right here, you have a big dip in volume. Now, you'll notice that this also correlates with something. So you have this gap right here. We'll just call this a gap, right? It's just a big empty void. Now, if we connect a line going all the way over here, and then we circle, and we come over here and we draw a line right here between these high volume areas, right? This high volume area and this high volume area. You can tell that because the bars are sticking out much farther than they are over here and over here. So you have high volume here, you draw a line, you draw another line. Now, you'll see that there's very low volume here. Now, how does that correlate to price action? You'll see here, if you zoom in a little bit, you'll see in this low volume area, right, where you have a dip in the volume, when price broke this resistance, you got a pretty quick spike up in price. So if you're looking at price action and let's say you see price is coming down to the support here, if you break this area, it might be safe to assume that price would quickly fall through this low volume area to land on this high volume area, right? These high volume areas act as support and resistance. So you'll see as price action was banging our head, right? We're just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna get rid of these drawings here because they're a little bit sloppy. Now, if we draw a horizontal line on this high volume area as well as this high volume area, right? You have a spike here and a spike here. You can see if you come down to this price action, we got rejected, and then finally when we broke this high volume area, price shot up all the way through this low volume void right here, this low volume area. We shot right up through it very quickly and came up to this next high volume area right here where we have our other horizontal line. So when you have big gaps in volume here, sometimes that results in quick price pumps up through that area, right? Or if you're coming the other way like we are right here, we're kind of on this support. If we break this, we might get a quick shot to this next high volume area down here. So when you see these gaps, a lot of times you'll get those quick movements And the VPVR helps you visualize that, right? And that could be very helpful, when you're trying to get in or out of a trade, or when you see price break resistance and you realize that after that resistance area there's low volume, you can assume that it is a possibility that you're going to fly back up to the high volume area, the next high volume area, which would be right here. So you can also use this to find good take profit levels. Again, using the same example as we just talked about. Obviously we have a high volume area right here, so we'll just draw that line again. If you are in, and then we'll just draw this one too, we'll bring that one back. If you break out and you're coming up, right, and you see that you have another high volume area right here where we have that horizontal line and you're in a trade, it might be a good time to take profits right before that high volume area because you might see a bounce. And as you can see, we actually did get a little rejection off of this area. We came down before breaking through it again. And you can even see that, by this little gap in volume here, we shot right through this gap in volume and hit our head right on this high volume area. We'll draw another line right there and look at that. It marks that resistance area absolutely, almost on the dot. So, this is kind of how you could find take profit levels, right? Maybe you entered a trade on this breakout, right? You broke out, you kind of got a little bit of a retest there. You shot through this low volume area, and then you got a little bounce off of this little spike in volume here. Maybe you took a little bit of profit, and then maybe you take 30% out, 40% out. That's going to be dependent on your risk tolerance. But you take a little bit out of your trade here, and then you shoot through another low volume area, and you see that you have another high volume area right here. And that might be another good place to take the rest of your profit or take some more off the table. As you can see, we got rejected and we came down to retest this level as support, came right back up to test this high volume area again. And then we broke out and hit this little point of control here where the most volume was traded, got rejected, and then eventually broke out. So as you can see, this is a very, very powerful tool to find key levels, whether you're using it to find good entries or good take profit levels, or you're trying to find where there's a gap in volume. That could be very helpful while trading as well. And this works on any time frame, right? So let's go down to the 15-minute and see what it looks like on the 15-minute. And you can see here, it's just the same exact thing. Let's zoom in and just, analyze these, from here to here. So now we're analyzing just the price action that is visible, right? The visible range volume profile, or a volume profile, visible range, VPVR, just analyzing what's on the screen here. And you can see that the most volume was traded right here. As we see a lot of interaction with price here, you get rejected, 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 and rejected, right? So you came up past and you couldn't hold it as support. And then, you can draw your levels. I mean, you can find your support and resistance. You have a little spike of volume right here. And there you go. Boom. You got support, you got support, you got support, you got resistance. And then you have another high volume area right here. So we can draw a horizontal line right there. Let's see if we got interaction, right? You got rejected here, rejected here. You got a little bit of support. I could actually move this to put it in a little bit of a better spot. I can't really quite get it that close. But you can see rejected, 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 rejected. And then, you're losing this level here. It looks like you're trying to test it as resistance. And then you see that you have a big gap in volume here, right? You have a little low volume area right here, that black void where there's no volume spikes. And look what happened. If you draw your horizontal line here, you had a little bit of volume here. So you could go ahead and draw a little horizontal line right here. You can see we dipped below this point and then we came back up. But when you get past this, when you get into this low volume area, boom, you shoot right through it up to this next high volume area right here. So as you guys can see, this does work on any time frame. You can use this on the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 2 week, the 1 week, the 5 week, the 2 year, whatever you want. It works on every time frame, and it's a very powerful tool, like I said, to find those take profit levels, to find good entries. If you are coming down and looking for a long, if we keep breaking this level, chances are if we get down to this high volume area, you're probably going to shoot down So if you were looking for a long position, it might be worth, you're not gonna wanna put it in right here in the middle of this low volume area right here, because you're assuming that you're probably gonna crash right through here to land on this higher volume area right beneath it. And I know, I'm sorry guys, my box might be blocking that a little bit, but we do have another spike like this right underneath my box, where you see this green line. There is a spike in volume there. You can see the line though. So if you come down and you break into this area where you have no volume right here, price is probably gonna shoot right down to this next area of support where there's another high volume node. You can see that by this line. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this one that was just marking the middle of the low volume area. But if you come down to this, void in volume, you'll probably shoot right down to the next high volume area, which is this line right here. So this level would be where you're looking for your entry. So you can see how that's important, because if you wanted to, I'm gonna draw another horizontal line in the middle of this low volume area. If we're assuming price is probably gonna crash right through this low volume area, you're not gonna wanna put a trade in, right here in the middle of it, because price is probably just gonna go right past it. So you're gonna wanna go ahead and wait to get back down to that high volume area down here to put your long in. And then just to really drive this home, you can see right here, we have another gap in volume, right? We have a little line right here, tiny little spike in volume where we found support. And then you have your next high volume area right here. But you do have a little gap in this area, right? And you can see price just bounced off of this area here and shot right up through this low volume area. We shot right up, and then we actually crashed right through this high volume area, tested as support, and continued coming up. But I just wanted to drive home these gaps in volume and how it can affect, even right here, we came up, we bounced off of this high volume area, and then you can see this whole low volume area here. If you go ahead and just circle this with the price action, you can see how price just shoots through these low volume areas and comes up to that next high volume area. So guys, I think that's all I got for today's video. I just wanted to make this quick video on the VPVR because it is such a powerful tool to find those key levels of support and resistance, whether it be for finding entries. I showed you an example of that. Or if it helps you just analyze the price action to find those gaps in volume where price might be likely to shoot through or shoot down without finding any support. So just to recap, VPVR, visible range volume profile, you will need the lowest paid version of TradingView to use it, but in my opinion, it's well worth it to pay for that. It's $12.95 a month, I believe. And this can totally help you just get an idea of where all the trading volume is, and you can kind of see how price action behaves in the low volume areas as well as the high volume areas. So you're gonna wanna pull this on your chart, find the range of price action that you want to analyze, bring it into view on your chart, and the VPVR will automatically analyze it, find the spikes in volume, and then you can find those peaks, right? Those spikes in volume, and draw your horizontal lines there and see how price reacted. Chances are you're going to find support and resistance at these high volume areas, and then the low volume areas, typically you smash right through them to the next high volume area. So go hit the charts, get that premium version of TradingView, get the VPVR on your chart, find those high volume areas, draw your horizontal lines, see how price action behaves, find those gaps in volume, see if price shot right through them, and start using this to add confidence to your trades, find good entries, and find good take profit levels. So with all that being said, guys, I think that's all I got for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Frankie Candles out.
Here we go. At the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go.